Hello, this webinar is to provide guidance on how to use the Volunteer Florida Peer Reviewer Portal through MicroEdge. This is an online grant review process used by all external reviewers. Today we will be going through the step-by-step on how to use the system and going over the information that you will have received via email from myself at Volunteer Florida, Anitra Thomas, as well as the 2 emails that will come from the MicroEdge system. So to get started, we're going to take a look back at the email that you would have received from myself and Kat Keene regarding you being selected as a peer reviewer and the important documentation that is sent in order to be used to review grant applications. So the first email you would have received from us would have been a thank you for being a reviewer, and it contained 3 documents. One is the peer review instructions, which takes you through a guidance on how to review your grant applications and how to access the MicroEdge reviewer portal. The second document, is the conflict of interest. This form needs to be completed by all external reviewers who are reviewing applications to make sure that there is no conflict between you and the organization that you are reviewing. It is important that you complete each of these questions and then save the document on your computer so that it can be uploaded into the MicroEdge Peer Reviewer portal at the point of you reviewing your grant application. The third document that you will have received is the actual peer review worksheet. This is the tool that you will use to rate and score your grant applications. This takes you through each prompt that the applicant must have responded to, and it assesses a certain level of points to each section. You will use this as a guide as you're reading your grant application, and then you will assess the points and input all of the information into the peer review online portal. This can be used to download and use as a written tool, but please be sure to transfer all notes and scores given on this document and actually input them into the online process. So what we're going to go through now is how to set up your peer review portal account access for those that are new to this online process, and then we'll go into logging into the system and taking you through the screens that you will be filling out for your review. I have Audrey Kidwell here with me who will go through the account setup access with you.
Great. After you received that initial email from Anitra, she went into our system and linked you to your review. So if you are a new reviewer, you've never been in our online portal, you would have received 2 emails. If you are an old reviewer or you have already been in our system with the same email, you would have only received 1. So as you can see, I have these 2 emails right here indicating that they are about the peer review that you're about to do. So the first one you would receive if you are a new reviewer. You will follow this link right here at the bottom to log in and to create a username and password. Your username will be the email that Anitra set you up with. If you need to change that email at any time, you would need to contact her so then we can change it so your review will then link back to our account. Please don't change that or try to log in with a different email. You will also create a password anywhere between 5 to 12 characters. Volunteer Florida will have no access to this password, so please make sure to write it down. And then once you go through that, you will be prompted to create 3 security questions and answers. Again, we will not have any access to the questions that you asked or the answers that you provided. So please make sure to write those down as well. So once you've created a username and password, you will follow this original first email and you will follow this link right here. This is our external peer reviewer URL. You can definitely save it as a bookmark because it will be the same link year after year, and it doesn't change like once you log in or anything like that. So again, you'll want to make sure to follow that, and it will open up a new portal for you, and you will want to log in. And at any time you do forget your password after you've created an account, you can hit the forgot password and it's going to prompt those security questions for you. So you're going to log in and you're going to see the scrolling circle. And then once you log in, you will be able to see your reviews.
So as you can see, after you have logged into the peer review portal, it's going to automatically come up with your screen. And on this left-hand side, you'll see 5 different sections. So for those of you who have never reviewed for us before, and this is your first application, you will see under the Invited tab, that will be the screen that will open up for you. And it'll show you all of the grant applications that you have been invited to review. To open a grant application, you simply can click on the little square, or you can click on the open envelope by hovering over the envelope and double clicking. This will take you into the actual review for that particular grant. So when you open up the review, the first tab that you're going to see, the first section rather, is the review section. That's going to show you your deadline for completing your review, your due date. It's going to show you your visibility dates, which lets you know how long this review is open and available for you to take a look at. And then you'll see a question that says yes/no conflict of interest. Now you'll notice that there's where you're supposed to select an option, whether yes or no, but it doesn't allow you to do it because it's grayed out. The reason that this particular section is grayed out is because you have not agreed to review this grant yet. Again, this is simply an invite. So what we ask all reviewers to do is, once you have decided that you will be able to still review the grants for us, when you go into the actual grant, you're going to look over to your right-hand side under Actions, and you're going to click Agree to Review. So let's just pause for a moment. I spoke earlier in regards to the conflict of interest form that is required to be completed by all external reviewers when reviewing applications. At this point, you should have completed that conflict of interest form, and you're going to want to make sure that you have notified us if there is a conflict. But if there's not a conflict, what you're going to do is you're going to click Agree to Review. If there is a conflict and you can't review that particular organization's application, you would select Decline to Review. But again, we do ask that you contact us first before making this determination of whether or not you can't review a grant application. So assuming that there are no conflicts and you're able to review this application, you're going to click Agree to Review. It's going to give you a confirmation, and you're going to confirm yes, you are sure you wish to review this proposal. And once you have done this, it's going to let you know that it was successful. And then you will see that the conflict of interest question, yes or no, is no longer grayed out. So at this point, what you want to do is select no to let us know that there is no conflict with you reviewing this grant. Now you'll also see that under Actions, your options have changed. Now that you have agreed to review this grant, you now have an Upload Document option, a Submit option, and you still have the option to send a PDF or email me. So what we need you to do at this point is you're going to upload that saved conflict of interest form into the system so that it links it to this particular grant that you're reviewing. So you would simply browse your computer wherever you have saved that document. You will choose that file. You can make notations if you need to, and if not, you just click OK at the bottom. So now you will have notification that your document was uploaded successfully, and you can continue on with the review process. So now you have the general information about the request that you are reviewing. Under Request, it's going to show you the name of the organization, the project title, the focus area, the requested amount, the type of application it is, and the category that it falls under. So at this point, what you need to do is download the actual application. So to do that, you're going to go over to your right-hand side where it says Go To, and you're going to click on Go To. Now, it's not going to do anything to the words when you click on it, but what you'll notice is once you click on Go To, you can now scroll down through the different sections of the review. And what you want to do is scroll all the way down to the related section. Underneath there, there's a tab that says documents. You want to click on that. This is going to bring up all documents that have been linked to this particular review. As you can see, you will see the conflict of interest form that you have uploaded, and then you will see the documents that Volunteer Florida has uploaded to the grant, which is the actual application and budget. If you click on the gray down arrow, that's going to allow you to download that application to your system. At this point, you can choose to save it on your desktop, or you can print down the application. But you will be using this application along with that peer review worksheet to complete your review process. So now that you have downloaded your application, you have read the application, and you have used that tool, the peer review worksheet, in order to score your application, now let's go into where you actually input all of the information from that tool. So you can do one of two things. You can scroll up the screen all the way back and click on Review or Request under the Go To section, or you can go directly to the problem/need, which is the start of your scoring process. Under each of these sections, these align with each of the sections on the peer review worksheet tool. They are each of them require 4 input areas. The first one is the overall rating that you would give that particular section, where you would choose from the drop down whether it was excellent, good, adequate, or poor or non-responsive. You would then enter your numeric score. Please keep in mind that the total score given to a grant cannot be higher than 100. So, as you're going through this peer review process and you're entering in your scores, the scores will add up and tally at the very end of the screen to show the total review score for this particular application. You're going to enter in your strengths and your weaknesses for each section. And note that if you don't have any particular weaknesses, we do ask that you still put something in there to state that, whether it says none, whether it says no weaknesses. Just let us know that you did not identify any particular weaknesses in this particular area. So you can go through the screen and enter in all of the same information. Again, each particular prompt has 4 areas that you have to enter data into. Again, make sure if you have made written notes on that peer reviewer tool that you transpose those notes into the online reviewer portal so that we have all of that data saved. So let's say you have gone through and you realize that you're not going to be able to complete the whole review at this particular time. What you want to do is you want to save. It's a good rule of thumb that as you're going through and entering data, you want to save after each section just to make sure that there's no computer glitches and to make sure that none of your data gets lost as you're filling out this form. But if you want to save and you want to exit out and come back to this review later, you simply click Save and Close. After you select Save and Close, it's going to save your data that you've entered so far, and you'll get a confirmation that comes up at the top that says Review Saved, and you'll notice that it takes you back to your home page. And on the home page, under the Invited tab, you will no longer see that particular grant proposal showing. In order to access a proposal that you've already opened and agreed to review, you will have to access it through the In Progress tab on the left-hand side. So when you click on In Progress, you will see the grant applications that you have already agreed to review and started entering data into. So if you click Open or double click on the box, it will take you back to the point in which you left off, leaving all the previous data that you have entered in the system. So if you go through this review and you go back and start completing the rest of the data that you need to enter, and you get down to the bottom, you'll see that the total score has been adding up under the feedback section where it says total reviewer score. It will also have an area where you can put your overall rating for the actual application, and this is where you would say whether or not this application overall was good, excellent, poor, adequate, or non-responsive. And then you can give your overall strengths and your overall weaknesses. Underneath this first feedback area, you will see something that says clarification feedback. Be advised that this area does not pertain to external reviewers. This area is for our internal Volunteer Florida staff reviewers. So all you simply need to do is insert NA or no comments in this clarification feedback section. Please do not get the clarification feedback section confused with the normal feedback section that shows above it. We do want your responses under the normal feedback section. Once you've completed this information and you have hit saved, you can go over to your right-hand side under Actions, and you're ready to submit this grant application. Before you click on Submit, we ask that you go through and do a review to make sure that all areas have been completed with data, and make sure that you have uploaded all documents that you may need to upload as far as your conflict of interest. Because once you hit Submit, and submit the grant review to Volunteer Florida, we no longer have the ability for you to upload any information or make any edits to the totals or the comments that you have listed for this particular proposal. So let's say you have checked everything that you need to check and you're ready to submit. You would simply click the Submit button under Actions. It's going to give you an opportunity to confirm that you wish to submit at this time, and it's reminding you that once you submit, no further changes can be made. So let's select Yes and submit this grant proposal review. And you see, you receive a notification at the top in blue that says you have successfully submitted this grant review. And as you can see, under the In Progress tab, that particular review no longer shows. So if you click under Submitted, you'd be able to see all the grant proposals that you have reviewed and submitted to Volunteer Florida. So it does allow you to still see your information, but just note that you won't be able to make any changes to that particular review. If there's ever a time where you have done a review and you made a mistake, or you wanted to change your score, or something happened and you already submitted it, simply email me and we can work through getting that information updated. We do again thank you for your time and your feedback on our grant proposals. It's a critical part of us making determinations, and we thank you for serving as a Volunteer Florida peer reviewer. If at any time you have questions or concerns about your review process, please do not hesitate to give us a call. We'll be more than happy to walk through with you and answer all of your questions, and to help make this process as smooth as possible. Thank you again, and we look forward to working with you this review season.